Wright. I'm the interim director here at Penn Center, and I want to welcome each of you here this Saturday. And on behalf of our board of Penn Center, our staff of Penn Center, and all of our partners, we want to again welcome you today. Now let me just see, do we have any board members in the house? We all over the place. Some of us are working. I haven't gotten here yet. We got people all over still working on this thing. All right. No board members. Advisory board members, show of hands. Okay, thank you. Staff. That's me. Seriously, folks, we got folks all over the campus, dining hall and all. We're still working at this venture. But again, I want to ask Brother Hodge, if he would come forward and give us the word.
Let us pray. Almighty God, our Heavenly Father, Thou who was in the beginning and Thou who will be in the end, Thou who created the heavens and the earth, and Thou who created mankind as one family. O God, we come this day in a spirit of thanksgiving. We thank you, dear God, for your refreshing rains that will water the earth and will produce an abundant harvest. Oh God, we thank you. We thank you, dear God, for bringing us together this day at this sacred space. Yes. We thank you, dear God, for Penn Center that was born in a challenging phase of history. Yes. We thank you, dear God, for touching the hearts of many to come into this community and to offer their services, dear God. We thank you, dear God, for the burning right, the board, the staff. We thank you for this community. Oh God, you realize that you have been with us through the years. We thank you, dear God, for allowing Penn to be a guiding light. We thank you for those who came through and are continuously offering their services. And oh God, you realize the unique challenges that we face as a people, as a community through the years. You know, dear God, the unique challenge that we are in now and just coming through one phase of it. We thank you, dear God, for being with us, dear God, and holding the community together, dear God, as you debated the CPO. We thank you for Queen Quet and others, dear God, who worked on the committees. We thank you for county council, and we thank you for the community that showed up time after time. Oh God, we thank you for giving us enough success to keep us encouraged. Oh God, we ask thy blessing upon our gathering this day. We thank you for the community that has come forth. We ask thy blessing upon the food. May it strengthen us, dear God, so that we will be able to continue the journey ahead of us. Oh God, we just thank you. We place it all in your hands. We know, dear God, that we have a past to cherish, but oh God, we have a future to fulfill. And we pray, dear God, that you will guide us every step of the way. In thy name and for thy sake, we do pray. Amen.
Thank you very much for that wonderful prayer. Now, just before I introduce our MC, I want to just really say the team here at Penn, Jesse, and Frank, and those are two names. It's always better when Charles makes a name. I want to especially put up your hand, Frank. Where's Jesse? She's outside. She's still working right now. But these two people in particular, all of us have worked, but these are just the thread that kept us together. Now, one other thing I'm gonna say before I introduce you to Quet is that we have, and we just started fitting that some type of celebration is due, and we wanted to give back for all of your efforts. So we've got a little meal prepared. We have some barbecue. I'm gonna see myself. I put that on yesterday evening about 5:30. We have fish fillet, and I think the fillet is in peanut oil, so those of you that might be allergic, be mindful of that, and then we have head on. So those are just three things I want to mention to you about food and Barbara, and it's a ton of other folks that they're still working right now. They're preparing plates over in the dining hall, but we want to say thank you, welcome, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the day. Now, it gives me great pleasure to introduce the son, but I think everybody knows, Miss Queen Quet, our MC. Thank you, ma'am.
My friend, and we'll keep on fighting till the end, 'cause we are the champions. We are the champions. No time for losers, 'cause we are the champions of the world. We're going to do that again because I know plenty of y'all got some great and you know that song. We are the champions, my friends. Come on, y'all, won't sound the champion. And we'll keep on fighting till the end. Why? Because we are the champions. We are the champions. No time for losers, 'cause we are the champions. Yeah! How are the children doing? Oh, it's right there down. We're going to take a shot. Y'all woke up? Emma, man, I'm going to do good because I ain't nobody else. That's the one that we blessing. Okay, let me try it again. How are the children doing? All right. Down we go. I'm going to look on your eyes and I have to get my eyes glass. I know some of we did. Y'all don't show off because y'all see a bunch of people in your and tell them people, go ahead, go ahead. Go ahead, y'all know you respond back and things like that. Act like one of the in church. Y'all know they respond back and things like that. They don't study the business. Don't act like a business. Let it act like a we. You see what I just said? Because see, that is the problem now. The person will come here, he want we for change over to be like him instead of him change over to be like we. He come here and see a thing there called Gullah Geechees. And see a law there called CPO. The C stands for cultural. The P stands for protection. The O stands for overlay. And the thing is a district. Well, come with it. What is your mountain? What they call Santa Helena, Santella. You see? So when they come here, anybody in here know what that word culture, what culture is for? What culture they law for? What culture? Thank you, say again. Gullah Geechee culture. You, now look here, some Gullah Geechee people know how to throw a white ball in a hole and things like that with one stick. So you know how to do it. But we go and them players there for doing it. And you don't have it. Now, if we could have white tape going up the ground once and tell they could be mushrooms. We ain't need for dig no hole and things like that. That mold and dig hole enough right now. So we ain't need no other kind of hole. So we did. Beaufort County Council and Beaufort County Planning Commission for saying that they can uphold and strengthen the cultural protection overlay district for St. Helena. But now, they asked me for come up here for MC. I MC like we do in the rap world. I'm nobody's mistress. Okay? So I don't use that title. I don't need a mic controller. I'm not the mistress of ceremony. I am nobody's mistress. Now I know we like to go around and carry wrong news, so I didn't put that out there on the record. Okay? And one other thing I can put on the record that all 100 children who are working thing like that, I will walk them down the rest of the week because I'm going to come here, then they overstand me tall. So I'm going to speak like this so everybody in here gets the next part. Because this is homework for everybody that's here. If you are not at a table, you may want to go over to a table. There are 2 small sheets of paper on these tables. And one of them is your classroom work. We are at Penn school as far as we're concerned. All right? This was the first school for freedmen founded in the U.S. and what is now the Gullah Geechee Nation in 1862. Lordstown and Ellen Murray came down as part of what we often call the Gideonite band that came as missionaries from up in the New England area. Later joined by the first African-American instructor here, Sean Thornton. And so, Lordstown and Ellen Murray never left. Stayed, never left. So their spirits are in this room now. Charlotte Thornton didn't want to leave, but because of health conditions, and you know what the heat is normally like down here, so I rebuke all of you who are upset about the temperature today. Because normally on Memorial Day weekend, I'm down at the waterfront sweating because it's usually about 90 degrees at least by this time of day. And we'd be down there praying for a breeze to come off the holiday. So today, I'm not angry that God poured a libation down. Not only to honor the founders of this place that is now a national landmark, historic district, and part of this campus is the Reconstruction era national monument. But also because God poured in honor of our ancestors and our elders, like my mother, Miss Fabini, and the various others who attended this school and kept it going. And even in their adult years, when there were hurricanes and storms that damaged buildings, these are people in our community, and many who are now laid to rest, who used to send out the notices to the churches and say, we need you to come, help fix up the buildings. And come serve some food, because we got volunteers coming from off the island to help fix up the buildings. So actually, someone made a remark. And Beaufort County Council said, oh, I've heard that this is the first time the community has been galvanized like this in 30 years. They've never seen it. I said, because you just got here. If you wasn't here for 30 years, you wouldn't have seen us galvanized before. Because St. Helena Islanders always stick together.
All right, all right.
And I'm telling you so you would say, don't play cool now. Don't get on twisted. You might yet be the perfect people one another, but you better not come on here and start nothing. Okay, they don't laugh because they know. Okay. So, when folks come on the island and start, that's when you see us come off the island and go where we have to go to put an end to the starts and foolishness. So I thank all of you that joined us, that did just like we used to do when people coming from off island to come to hold up the buildings, to restore the buildings. Thank you for coming to restore the power of the Cultural Protection Overlay District.
Oh, yeah.
Like they say, you didn't have to do it, but you did. So we appreciate every one of you who wrote a letter, who gave some type of donation, that signed the 3, 4, 5 petitions that were floating around at one point. People were standing handing me petitions while I was at the microphone just about one night at the meeting to turn in to say this is how much you wanted on the record that you also stand with Gullah Geechees, whether you Gullah Geechee or not. And so we want you to continue to stand with us, because this one paper that has a couple lines on the top is a questionnaire. We'd like you to fill this out today. Leave it with us to say whether or not you will come to other meetings in the future. Because I'm the Cultural Protection Overlay District Chairperson again. I was the inaugural one way back yonder when it first was formed, and I have been put into that position once again, commissioned to that position once again. And so we will be contacting you, not only from the CPO district, but because of community meetings to continue to work, because we're not done just because there's an ordinance that's been updated. Now, one of the other reasons we are not done is because of the other sheet that has a lot more writing on it that tells you about June 5th. June 5th at 6 p.m., please return to the Beaufort County Council chambers, downtown Beaufort, because the person, the individual who already was told that they could not have this 3 6-hole golf courses is appealing that decision. Boo, right? I heard her say boo. And also, the person is asking for just their section of property to be carved out of the cultural protection overlay district so that they can do what they want to do on that one piece of St. Helena. Well, if we allow that to be carved out and the law to be changed on one people's property, I got some laws that I want changed in Beaufort County and in America as well. Just for me, one, and then for my community, number 2. So if we all want to start just getting laws changed just to suit us, I think they taught us in school that was anarchy. Right? I don't think that that is the process that our county has been operating under, nor our state. I don't know about the federal government, but it should not be a situation that any level of government operates under anarchy or any type of distress. We should be able to live peacefully and have a high quality of life here on St. Helena Island like my elders and my ancestors have done for generation after generation after generation. St. Helena Island is the epicenter of Gullah Geechee culture because St. Helena Islanders stick together, and we let you know in a minute, we been there, we ain't going nowhere at all. And the way that we've stayed here is by keeping our environment like you see it, nice, beautiful, open space. So nice and fresh is the air that you can smell the rain before it gets here. Rather us when the dew coming down. That you can actually sometimes walk around your yard and your community and breathe in, breathe out, and smell the pine from the pine trees. So why would we want Pine Island destroyed? Why would we want the village of St. Helena, in other words, St. Helenaville, destroyed with all that beautiful salt marsh there? That now, if you didn't know, we have just released the South Atlantic Salt Marsh Initiative plan to preserve and protect 1 million acres of salt marsh from the Carolinas down to Florida. Why would we want anybody to build over or fill that in when we just got that? Why would we want anybody to build over and build a bunch of houses or a golf course when we just got the Low Country Sentinel landscape? Which means the Department of Defense is now working with our community in Beaufort County and other counties that are adjacent to us to protect their airspace and their training grounds. And they say the more natural it is, the better. The statement that Kate has made, that she is quoted from them, is that they would always rather fly over forests and fields than to fly over homes and businesses. And it makes sense. If we all were here when the Blue Angel crashed way back, that was a scary thing. That was a painful thing. And we were so proud this year to sit there as honored guests and see the Blue Angels flying again, safely. And I told them when I got there and went into the VIP tent, I said, I appreciate it. Because y'all call the Blue Angels, for me they're the indigo angels, because my ancestors always used blue as that symbol of protection. And these angels are flying to help us protect Beaufort County, especially St. Helena. And after that, we had that final reading, final vote to say, yes, we will uphold the Cultural Protection Overlay District. And after that, we got the good news about the Low Country Sentinel landscape. We got the good news about the South Atlantic Salt Marsh Initiative. We got the good news from the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration about the Gullah Geechee Create Marine Debris Program that I'm going to be one of the leaders of, to take the debris out of our salt marsh, away from our shorelines in the ocean, and then have it washed up and turned into artwork by Gullah Geechee and African American artists. So if anybody in here fits that description and you want to talk to me and leave me your information, please do come up after the program. All of these things are happening at once, and I ain't thinking of dry on my soul. I think God got them happening at this time. Such a time as this year. That the epicenter is being seen for who we be. That we be Gullah Geechee Nation people, and that we have a united community of Benya and Kumya. Who Kumya? Who step up and say, tell them, y'all know your name now, go Kumya! Go Kumya! Get trophy man, man! Who the Benya? Who the Benya? All kids. And plenty of Benya, the fried push and the cook thing, and got the family to the house, and we did all over this year weekend. So this is a hard day to get together, but we glad that want to be with me. And one person that took time, and as we say in the church, thought it not robbery to come and spend some time with us today, even though he has other things to go do, is one of our representatives for St. Helena, our Councilman York Gullah. So we would love for him to come up and give some words to the audience about the work that he and the county council have done to help us sustain and protect our cultural protection over the district. Thank you, Mr. Gullah, for being here today. Appreciate you.
Thank you. I was looking for somebody else that you good afternoon. Let me say first that the effort to preserve and uphold the CPO is a community effort, and it could not have been done, I believe, without you. Your presence at that meeting and in the community made a difference. And so I have to say to you, continue to stay strong. I think we can withstand anything that comes our way. And that's a history that Queen Quet has talked about, that this community basically has done over the years. They have stood for what they believe to be right and to move forward. So I just want to say thank you to you because you made my job easier. And without you, I don't know whether I would have been able to prevail. So thank you for that. I will share with you three things that I wrote down and a few minutes ago, and I got up this morning and was thinking about if I was asked to say something, what would I talk about? And so I wrote three things down that I would love for you to take away from here today. The first thing, if none of you have ever seen the movie starring Sidney Poitier called Noah Dearborn, The Simple Life of Noah Dearborn. If you've not seen that movie, it really depicts what is going on right now. And so I'm not going to tell you what happened in the movie because I don't like my wife to tell me what the movie is going to happen in the movie because there's no sense watching it. But if you get a chance, Google Sidney Poitier and Noah, and the movie will come up. Watch it. After Sidney Poitier died a year or so ago, we went to Netflix and flipped it on, and that name came up, and I said, I've never seen that movie before. It's an old movie. But it depicts exactly what is happening right now. So watch that movie. So I'm going to leave that with you, homework. And it's on Netflix, so you got to watch some commercials, but it's a good movie. I've seen it at least 10 times, and every time I've watched it, it's a good movie. The other thing I want to leave with you about where we are right now, let me use a metaphor. Anybody know anything about football? I played football. I was able to get my college education through football. So I am a jock. And so when I go to a restaurant, I tell my wife, I got to see the pitch to order my lunch or my dinner. I'm a jock. But if you know anything about football, to qualify to be a good player in the NBA, there's a measurement that they use in football.
NFL.
Yes. Oh, no, NFL, I'm sorry. I'm talking about football, NFL. Keep me straight, I thank you. The measurement for a good player in the NFL is running the 40-yard dash. They measure that. And they want you to run a 40-yard dash because in football, even though it's 100 yards from one goal to the next, it's the 40-yard that you are defending. Are you trying to advance or are you trying to defend? And there's an area of the football field called the red zone. Because the red zone is 20 yards to the goal line. It becomes very difficult to score in the red zone. And so the ultimate goal in football is to get a touchdown. So in the red zone, most of the time, a team only gets a field goal. It's difficult to get to the finish line. All I'm saying to us today is that we are running the 100 yards. We are in the 20 or we're in the field, but we're not to the finish line yet. We don't have that touchdown yet. So don't go weary now. And well doing. Okay? Just keep pressing forward, because this is not the end of the matter. I was not able to run a good 40, so in college, I think I did on a good day a 4.6. That don't get you anywhere. You got to be at least a 4.5 or 4.3. And I ran a 40 out, and I think on the best day, I did a 4.6. Most of the time, it's a 4.7. And if you run a 5.0, you may get in the NFL, but you got to be darn good, because you got to basically, the first 40 yards is what they're dealing with. So football is where we are, and all I want to say is that we're trying to get to the goal. We're trying to get a touchdown. We're going to get that touchdown, but it may take us a while to get there. So just keep pressing on. I mean, don't go weary. Just keep pushing forward. And the last thing I want to leave with you is, I don't know people my age and above, younger people. I don't see too many younger people here, so all of us probably know what an outhouse is. Okay. I am reminded every time I go in my restroom, my bathroom, and no restroom, my bathroom, I got a picture of an outhouse, just to remind me of where I came from. And in the 50s and the 40s, here on St. Helena, plumbing was not in the outhouse, in the house. All of us had an outhouse. My grandfather had what I call a Cadillac, because in his outhouse, he had 2 stalls. Most of them had 1. But my grandfather was a carpenter, so he had 2. So, I'm not going to say that. But anyway, in our community, we celebrated people who were successful in getting their indoor plumbing. That was a challenge. It was a goal. There was a lady in my community who got the second outhouse in my community, and my mother said, if she got an outhouse, I'm gonna have one too. The next summer, my family had, now I was young, I didn't know anything about this, but my family had an outhouse. My mother worked, that was her goal. She planted cucumbers, she planted tomatoes. She must have had a very successful year for that summer, and she was able to put her outhouse in. My grandmother didn't get her her indoor plumbing until later. I was a teenager. I know because my brother and I dug the spot for the septic tank. So I know that. She didn't get hers till later. But all I want to say is that where my house is today my grandmother was going to sell that land so that she could get the indoor plumbing. So I keep that outhouse picture here to remind me that I am blessed because my grandmother did not sell that land, but she got her outhouse. I mean, her indoor plumbing. Yes. So we're going to make milestones, we're going to make some goals, but having an indoor plumbing never changed us. Okay? And we got to be very conscious that we do not want anything to come to our community that may have a negative impact on us.
Right.
Will have a negative impact on us. That's why we don't want it. Gay community will have a negative impact on us. But there are things that will come to us that will change us as far as improving our lifestyle, but it will never change our culture. Indoor plumbing never changed our culture. It improved us. Golf course on St. Helena made changes for them. And so that's what we're fighting. And there's two songs I want to leave with you because every time I get strength from the old spirituals. And I'm not going to sing them like Quet, so I'm just going to give you the lyrics. The song says, I've come this far. I found no fault. I feel the journey on. I come this far. I find no fault. I feel like journeying on. Another verse of that says, if religion was something that money could buy, the rich will live, the poor will die. We didn't say poor, because we always left, we couldn't afford the R in the word. We said poor will die. We can't let money dictate our lifestyle. Okay? I would love to have all the money in the world, but I told somebody, when you get a gold toilet, and right now our house, we don't have our house anymore, get a gold toilet. I mean, how much, what does a gold toilet do any different than iron toilet? I don't know, but I guess it's something I can say, I got a gold toilet that I can brag about. My lifestyle is more important than a gold toilet. And the other song that I want to leave with you is a spiritualist says, work together, children. Don't get weary. Work together, children. Don't get weary. There's a great camp meeting in the promised land. We're going to work together. There's a great camp meeting in the promised land. God bless you.
Oh, I feel like journeying on. Oh, I come this far and I find no fault. Oh, I feel like journeying on. Never come this far and I find no fault. Yeah, that was what we were talking about. Feel like turning on. How the children my daughter was starting some of this shit. But even before he had our house, had slop chop, and things like that. Some of the children be in here, y'all, they never had this shit. Because y'all come from all over the place where they had that thing for young. Some of you remember the first house on the island, shopping road, and get light. And all kind of things like that. Remember, I remember when they had a party line phone. And people wonder why you walk in the mouth and things like that. Hey, because the rest of people didn't get it from the dark. We used to crack your teeth and say. And now you all the time speak on your cell phone, you might as well have party line phone because all of these still ahead of the time. So we come a mighty long way. You see? And I thought when he was saying word fit, I thought he was going to say, we come this far by faith. Lean on the Lord. Come on, y'all. Trust in His holy word. Because why? He never failed me yet. So can't turn around. We come this far by faith. So we're saying that in the history of St. Helena Island, we've come this far by faith. We have been called everything but children of God until our flag came out that said we be Gullah Geechee anointed people. The newspaper wrote when Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., who this road, this part of Lands End Road got renamed for, he stood in this space. And my mother can attest to it. She was in this space with him. He stood in this space when he announced the Poor People's Campaign. That broke up a lot of the civil rights folks from each other because they said he had gone too far, he had become too radical. But he knew he had come that far by faith. There was a headline in the newspaper that said, because at that time they had misnamed our post office as Frogmore.
Yes.
So mail used to come to Frogmore. But thank God for Joseph Sherman, because when they said we was going to get a new post office, he came around with petitions. I was one of them children he had making a petition around the island to get the correct name that the whole island is St. Helena Island. Some of you in here from Frogmore, so we could fight you. You trying to say the whole island is Frogmore. Because the whole island is Frogmore. Ain't never been. Okay? So he wanted the correct name because he was a chemistry teacher. And he said you have to be accurate and precise. And I'm a person who's a computer scientist, so precision is critical to me. I'm a mathematician. Precision is critical to me. Accuracy is critical to me because it could mean the difference between life and death, especially now with robotic science operating on your body. You don't want them to make a mistake, do you? No. So we want to be precise that the Cultural Protection Overlay District not only said we do not want golf courses, it said we do not want gated communities and we do not want rapid infill development. It said all of that. And it says all of that. And why? Because our neighboring island that we can look across, if you go Landsea, as we say, and look across from it, you can look on Paris Island one day and look on Hilton Head the other rest of it. We know what Hilton Head used to look like. It was very similar to St. Helena. 2-lane road. And you know, because we've been there together, we had the people stop the car, we used to stop the car. A turtle walking across the road. Y'all think I'm playing? I don't have to make it up. We used to go to Singleton Beach and all the places down there. I don't want to go to Hilton Head. They send for me now. I beg them not to please don't send for me. And not the last time I was in this room, but the time before that, when we had the land discussion here, Mr. Emery Campbell came here and stood over there to the podium, and he said, I just came from the catastrophe, everyone, and that is Hilton Head Island. And he said, well, I was born and raised there. have lived to hear the day that Mr. Campbell would speak of Hillsdale in that way. But he's speaking of it that way because he knows what he lived to see also that now they regret. So let us be accurate and precise that we need to keep what we have while we have it, because on this altar it ain't going back to the way it used to be. So we know that houses get built here and yon around here. Not 100 and 200 and 400 at one time and all these extra cars and pollution and all that. And then the road needs to be widened to accommodate them folks. We know that has happened over and over, not just in this county, but on this coast. So while we have it, let's keep it. Let's keep the Cultural Protection Overlay District intact. Let us show up on June the 5th, 6 p.m., Beaufort County Council Chambers. I have asked them to also allow people to attend by Zoom. So I want to see if that is going to happen. But we need to say again loud and clear that we have accurately and precisely said what we do not want and what we do want. And we do want you all to continue to uphold the strengthened Cultural Protection Overlay District Ordinance and keep every property that's on St. Helena that was under it originally under it.
Yeah.
Is that clear? No zoning changes. None of that. No zoning changes. No new go through the process to tax them in just for one person. So we need to be clear. If you want to read more details about it, again, pick up those little short papers off the tables. Has all the details. And one thing I give you is homework. Go to St. Helena Gullah Geechee.com. Spell the word Saint out. St. Helena Gullah Geechee, and Geechee don't have no I in them, bit of we, okay? All right, so Geechee. All right, Gullah is Gullah, St. Helena Gullah Geechee.com. Go to that website. Read the history and the legacy of St. Helena from our indigenous ancestors up to today, where we are fighting against sea level rise and other things that God is having happen because of human beings' behavior. So we don't need something else to come while we're trying to build resiliency and sustain. That's going to be antithetical to all of that. Let's be precise and accurate about our decisions. And on that site, you'll learn about Hillsdale too. And you will see how rapidly it changed. Because somebody said, we're going to give you jobs.
Yeah.
And now the same people they told they were going to give jobs, the majority of them don't live on Hillsdale anymore. They were displaced from there and had to find work and homes elsewhere. St. Helena Island just feels just fine like we are. And I'm sure those of you who moved here because of the high quality of life here and because of this rural environment. Many of you probably left cities to move south to a rural area. I see your heads, right?
Yep.
So you don't feel like being in all that traffic at this time in your life. I don't like being in traffic at this time in my life, so that's why I often turn down engagements in major cities. Because here I can do, like I say, woosah. And just breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. And be relaxed. Be at peace. And hear my ancestors shouting in the wilderness, saying, y'all keep water on, y'all. Take water on the children. Still water on that land. Don't do that one and thing like that. And right away, pour them off your children. And I hear them say, fight on. Just a little while longer. Fight on. Just a little while longer. Fight on. Just a little while longer. Everything gonna be alright. Gonna be fight on. Just a little while longer and pray on. Just a little while longer and march Just a little while longer. Everything might be alright in the morning. Everything might be alright for the children. Everything might be alright. Yes, amen. Everything will be alright. Keep sticking together. Keep fighting on. Even when you feel like, oh, the fight is getting tense, then drop to the back. Let some of the other soldiers get in the front, but don't drop out. All right? Drop to the back, get your water, get your rest, eat your Wheaties, take your vitamins, do all that. And then when it's time to swing, let's go. All right? So, you got to fight on. You got to fight on. So definitely we appreciate all of you. Are there other elected officials? I know I saw some folks from Port Royal the other night, so they were going to come over and be with us. Any elected officials made it over? No? Okay, no problem. Were you going to come say something, Kristen? Come on over from Open Land Trip. Okay, oh, I got you. Oh, they're saying, that's what they want to do. They want to make sure y'all don't have mob justice and fighting going on over this your food now. That's what it was. They're going to make sure we can do this your thing decent and all. I got you. They said, Stella, y'all just rushing out the door. Take your time. Hold your seats. And they're going to come get you by the table. Okay? They'll come get you by the table. Now, I ain't know who come up with that rule. So since I the queen, I will overrule them on this point. Because we got some elders in here that are in their 90s. And they need to go first. Okay? So before all that table calling, the 90-year-old elders put your hand up, because really they shouldn't go out there call. Somebody need to come with one of the papers and a pen to where the 90-year-olds are, take their order. Go out there and get their food and all this rain, and then bring it back in. That's the Gullah Geechee where some of y'all is getting out of hand and trifling now. Let's hold it down the culture. Okay, so the 90-year-olds and the 80-year-olds, the rest of y'all act up all the time in the street. So I'm not telling nobody younger than that. Because the rest of y'all will drive by and pass me by the road and you're 70s. Even if you're 79, you leave. No. So we're going to do the 100-year-old plus, 90-year-old plus, 80-year-old plus. All the rest of them sitting to fend for yourself and hold your seat to your table or in the chair till they come to your room. Okay? Because if I keep going down, that'll be all the thing happening. Because some of these people is much older than you look. Like, you know? Thank you, Lord. All right? So I appreciate all of you, and we want to greatly thank. We want to greatly thank our partners at the South Carolina Coastal Conservation League for all the effort they have put in. Thank you so much. We want to greatly thank our folks over at the Beaufort Land Club. Thank you so much. We want to thank the South Carolina Environmental Law Project folks. Thank you so much. We want to thank all the individual attorneys who have stepped up to step into this fight for us as well without doing billable hours. We want to thank you as well. We want to thank the Coastal Protection Overlay District committee members that all stood up and continue to get the work done on time and get it before the different boards that had to evaluate it. And again, what date y'all, we got to be downtown again, when? No? Yeah. June 5th at 6. 5-6, okay? So 6-5-6. June 5th at 6. 6-5-6. Don't go play that number and Terry. Don't give me nothing now. I do a little something. Y'all got to get a little something now. All right? Because I don't play, so y'all can play for me. I y'all win. I need something. All right? And I also want to thank the Gullah Geechee Fishing Association and the Gullah Geechee Sea Island Coalition and various others who donated today food and services and everything, so this food is ready for all of you. And so again, we want to thank Mr. Wright for cooking that hog all night long. Y'all know y'all will eat everything but that one. Lord, I pray for this whole pig. And Ms. Barbara and all her team and volunteers, thank y'all for serving. Thank you for definitely, we want to make sure that food was blessed. Yes, Reverend Hodges bless that food, bless the island, and bless all of we. Because we don't like to just now thing without the prayer being done. So decent and in order, definitely. So we appreciate all of you. And what y'all want to do? Fight on what? Fight on how long? A little while longer, because June 5th is not that far away. So definitely thank y'all all for coming out on this rainy day and helping us to celebrate St. Helena and hold on to Gullah Geechee culture. Thank you to all of Hunter Chiller.